Okay, today we will discuss about these two concepts: enumerated data type. Next one is the command line arguments. Actually, this enumerated data type, uh, enumerated data type is the user defined data type. Okay, user defined data type. How we can define a data type? Actually, how many different type of data types are there? Primary data type, derived data type, uh, user defined data type. There are totally three different data types are there. We know primary data types, and um, in derived data types we are using arrays, structures, unions, all these called as the primary derived data types. Pointer also derived data type. Next, come to the user defined data type. It is a enumerated data type. Enumerated data type is called as user defined data type. Okay, first let us finish that how we can use the enumerated data type as a user type. Next, come to the second concept. It is a big concept compared to enumerated data type. Command line argument is very big concept. Okay, the command line argument we can find in first unit, next third unit, and fourth unit. In three units, we can find the command line arguments. But why I am not explained the command line arguments in first unit? It requires some additional knowledge. It requires some strings concept. It requires some arrays. It requires some additional concepts are required. So that is not possible to discuss in the first unit about the command line argument. That's why now I want to go explanation of the command line argument. Okay, let us start the uh, remaining. Okay, let us verify. Okay, let us verify the concept of enumerated data type. Okay, enumerated data type. Okay, let us verify. Enumerate data types gives you an opportunity to invent your own data type. So that's why it is called user defined data type. Next, define what values of variables of this type data type can be taken. Next, the main purpose of enumerated data type is allowed numbers to be replaced by words. We are going to give some of the words, but we are not giving any numbers. Automatically, the enumerated data type can give the numerical equivalence of each and every word. So that is the main purpose of the enumerated data type. So the enumerated data type, okay, can observe the statement enumeration, enumeration, enumeration. So the words are replaced with the numbers, enumeration, and assign the numbers to the words. That is called enumeration. So that's why that is called enumerated data type. Next, come to the syntax. Enum, for that purpose, enum is the keyword. Enum is the keyword. Okay, have to give enumerated variable. What is the enumerated variable? You have to give after the enum keyword. Enum name is a data type name. Next, within the braces, have to give list identifiers list, and finally have to give the variable of the enumerated type. Next, example. Okay, enum is a keyword, and what is the name of that data type? Is a keyword. Boolean is the data type. What is the data? Here, name of the data type is Boolean. What are the fields of the Boolean? True, false. how many variables we are declaring, b1 and b2. So here, what are the fields of boolean, true, false? Next, what is the name of the data type, boolean? What are the variables of that boolean data type, b1, b2? So like that, we can use enumerated keyword, enumerated keyword, and you have to give enumerate name of the data type. Why? Because we want to create user defined type. So enum, in the syntax you can find enum. Ename is the data type, and what are the fields of the data type? Identifies list. List is not a single variable, collection of data. And enum type is the data type, is the variable declaration. In this example, the same enum is a keyword. By using the keyword, we can declare boolean as a data type. The boolean contains, okay, in the previous slide, boolean contains true and false. Okay, the boolean contains two variables are there. Okay, two variables are there. Boolean contains two variables are there, true and false. Okay, let us say in that way how to declare enum and fields of the enum and the type of the enum and variables of the enum. Okay, next step. Okay, in this example, the same syntax and same is repeated according to the previous slide. Enum, boolean, true, false, b1, b2. What is b1, b2? Variables of boolean. b1 is a variable, b2 is also variable. Next, what are the identifiers list in the boolean? True, false. What are the values of true, false? Namely, we can use 0 and 1. Like that we can assign. Okay, next. Okay, okay. Let us go one example, then we can discuss the remaining parts. Okay, okay. Hash include h. Initially have to declare enum. Enum have to declare name of the data type, weekdays, weekdays. How many weekdays are there generally? Okay, first one is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Saturday. Okay, in that way, we declare week. Week here, week is a data type. What is the data type of the week? Okay, how many members? How many fields are there? 7 fields are there. So for all the fields, week is the data type. Okay, if we take week, we are accessing 7 fields. Okay, so here we are not declaring any integer, float, or string, or anything. Directly, we are declaring the uh, we are declaring weekdays. Like that, we num uh, months also we can declare. What are the months? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. In that way, here month is one more data type that is defined by the user. What is the meaning of month? It reflects 12 months in a year. Week reflects 7 days in a week by name wise. Now, how we can utilize this user defined type which is declared by user, just like week and month. Okay, let us verify from the main program. Okay. Week is a data type. Week is a data type. Okay, we have to declare view. Week is a name of the data type. For that purpose, we have to declare uh, variable for the week. Okay, X is the variable for week. It can access, it can provide the accessibility of 7 days. Okay, within 10 minutes, our session is going to close. After 10 minutes, we can again relog in, please. Okay, next, x equal to Sunday. What will be our output? Then we can discuss very clearly about the all the concepts. Printf d of x. What will be the output? Okay, here what will be the output? After verifying the output, then we can discuss the total concept. Let us verify. Just a minute. Some one error is there. Please wait some time. Hmm. Okay, okay. So, small mistake. Okay. No need to assign equal. Okay. Very, very small mistake. We also observe this mistake. Please don't that type of mistake. Now we are declaring information in week and month like this. Now we can delete here. No problem. Within the within the main or before the main, no problem. Now we declare week 7 days and month for 12 months. Now WVK it reflects the WK it reflects the data type of week. So that reflects 7 days. Next we declare one variable. Next that variable assigned with Sunday. Now it will print the instead of Sunday it prints the numerical information. What is the numerical information we can verify. So here you can see 0. 0 is the numerical information. For what purpose it returns 0? For what purpose it returns the 0? Then we can discuss about that numerical numerization of the given set. So this enumeration can assign the particular numerical values in the sequential way. Initially, if you here you are not finding any numerical values, so that's why the first field of the week assigned with 0. If we are not assigning any value, by default that assigned with 0. If we assign uh, any value, okay, now onwards, the sequence number starting from 1. Monday will be 2, Saturday will be 6. Let us verify. 1. Okay, like that, the new enumeration, assigning the numerical sequential values in the given set of information. So here 7 informations are there. Next, now X assigned with only Sunday. If it is a Saturday, what will be the output? Sunday starting from 0 means here 0 is not any information is not assigned, so that's why by default that is assigned with 0. Then what is the value of Saturday? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our output will be 6. Our output will be 6. Next, meanwhile we can assign any value. Tuesday, just assume Tuesday equal to 11. What is Wednesday? 11. Thursday 12, 13, 14. Like now Saturday assigned with some different value. 14 is assigned. Now we can change our variable or data type. Previously we are working with only week. Next we are working with month. Okay, take month variable. Month as a variable. Take y. Okay, y equal to y equal to October. Then what is the value of October? Generally, that is the 10th month. That is the 10th month. But here, why starting from uh, month starting from January? January here, that is the 0. Okay, October will be 9. October will be 9. So if you assign January as the first month, then October will be 10th. October will be 10. So that is a enumeration type. Okay. Within 1 minute, our session is going to close. Please relog in again, all of you. Okay. So as per our discussion in the previous practice also, we declared enumerated data type. Here in this example, weekdays. Okay. In the previous example also, we declare two enumerated data types. One is week and a month. Week contains 7 days, and month contains 12 months. Okay. Week weeks are not assigned with any value startingly. So that is assigned with, by default, that assigns to 0. Sunday assigned with 0, Monday assigned with 1, but Tuesday assigned with 10. Tuesday assigned with 10. So in that, from the Tuesday onwards, Wednesday will be 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, like that, whenever we assigned explicitly the numbers taken, and remaining following words will be used the incremented numbers. Otherwise, it takes a sequence number starting from 0. So that is the meaning. In that way we can use the enumerated type. Okay, here starting from 0 to 1. If you take assigning Monday to 1, the remaining information is like that. If you are assigning negative values also, then our information will be like that. Okay, that is information about the enumeration type. It is very simple. Okay, no confusion. Only how to use the enum and define your own data type and give information to your own data type. But out of that, it will give the numerical equivalence of that given information. Okay. In that way, that assigned with a 0 as a starting value. If we are not specify any value, that will takes automatically 0 initially. Otherwise, that follows our direction. So that is enumeration data type. Okay. Now let us jump into next part, that is the command line argument. This command line argument this command line argument is the new concept and very different concept in C language. It's very important why I am explaining this command line argument. In my exam point of view, okay, you can find at least 1 2 marks question. At most, we can find 5 marks. 5 marks question, but it's very important. It is a regularly repeated question, so that's why now I am going to explain the command line argument. Okay, come to what is the meaning of this command line argument. Command line arguments. Okay, first come to the arguments. Arguments means input values. Arguments means input. Wait a minute. One question is from Manvit. I am reading the question. Sir, if we have initial value as 1 and the middle value of the series is assigned with 6, what will be the output? Okay. Oh, we can verify with this example. Okay. Here initial value equal to 1. Next middle value equal to 6. Okay, so here initial value equal to 1, then Monday will become 2. Okay, Tuesday is already assigned with 6. Then Wednesday, that must be 7. Let us verify in this example. Okay, here uh, what is the data type? Week data type. Variable is capital X. Then okay, then capital X. Okay, first let us verify. Let us verify Sunday. What is the output? What is the output? What is the output? That will be 1. Why? Because Sunday assigned it to 1. Sunday assigned it to 1. Next, what will be the output of Monday? Monday. Okay, actually, just that is the value. What will be the output of Monday? That must be 2. That must be 2. Then we are assigned Tuesday as a 6. Okay, then we can print Tuesday. Tuesday as a 6. Tuesday displayed as a 6. Then what is the next? Wednesday. What is the Wednesday? Wednesday. Wednesday become, surely that becomes 7. Surely that becomes 7. What is then? What is the meaning? So if you are not assigning any value, that will take the sequential sequential incremented value. If you are not assign any value in the sequence, so starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. If you assign starting value a particular one, the remaining values 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay, in the middle, if you assign any value, okay, uh, okay, from that values, the given value is the initial value, remaining all words assigned with the next sequential value. That's the matter. Okay, so in that way we can conclude that concept here. Okay, next, let us verify the command line argument. Command line argument. What is the command line arguments? Initially, arguments are nothing but inputs. We can give the name arguments as a input. Actually, arguments word we can find in the functions. The functions related to fourth unit. Before going to fourth unit, already we use so many functions. String functions are there. Printf is a function. Scanf is a function. Getch is a function. CLRSCR is a function, and square root is a function. Okay, all that functions. What we are passing input information is, we are passing input information. That input information is called as arguments. For suppose if you take strlen, what is the input? String is the input. So the input string is also called as argument of the strlen. So inputs are also called as inputs of the functions are also called as arguments. Okay, so arguments are nothing but inputs to the functions, either system defined function or user defined function. Now, now where we have to pass the inputs, that is the command line. So the our inputs is passed at the command line. Okay, then what is command line here? It is a new statement. Previously, we are not, um, uh, we don't have the knowledge of the command line. Command line is nothing but first, okay, in your system, you can go to the command prompt. Command prompt. It is called as command line. Okay, command. It is called as command line. Okay, what is the full word of this one? Command line arguments. What is command? What is arguments inputs? Command line means this blink. This is the command line. It is the command line. Here we are going to pass our input to our program. So that is the meaning of the command line argument. What is command line? In this black screen, okay, one blinking, you can find one blinking, that is called cursor. Okay, this total line is called command line. Command line. All these typing information, all these typing words are command line arguments. How we can pass our input from here? How we can pass our instruction from here to our program? So this type of mechanism to pass our input to the command line, input to our program, is called command line arguments. By using this approach, no need of scanf, no need of um, static static initialization. So that is the benefit of the command line argument. Okay, here, um, okay, okay, let us verify. Uh, it's very simple and very very important. This command line argument, please, all of you listen very carefully. It's very very important for my exam point of view as well as the technical point of view also. Okay, where we can apply the command line argument. Okay, in this environment, we can pass some arguments. What is the meaning of argument? Passing input, passing input to the user-defined functions or system-defined functions. That is arguments. That inputs now we are passing input to the our main program. That is the command line argument. Where we are passing the input from the command line. Command line we are passing the arguments. What is the command line? This blue black screen is the command line. Okay, command prompt. In this command prompt, what information we are providing to the program, that is the command line. What is the information? Some of the inputs, some of the arguments we can pass. Okay, let us verify. Let us verify the functionality and how we can uh, program this command line arguments. Let us verify the basic parts. Okay, for the command line arguments, you have to more focus on the main function. Main function. So main function is the key role to operate the command line arguments. So here main function is very very important. So far we have been defined the main function to receive no arguments. We are not passing any argument to the main function. Okay, in previous any program here um, main function. What we are passing? No, no nothing. Any that is always blank. That is always a blank. So that's why till now we are not using the command line arguments and we are not using the main function arguments. So far um, we have been defining the main function to receive no arguments. Okay, that is the point. Next, actually the main function can receive two arguments. To do that, the main function should be defined as below. Okay, this is the command. This is how the arguments can pass in a command line. Okay, this instruction is very very important. Int. Okay, here come to the practical section. Here main okay 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 like that more instructions are there within the main, but in till now we are not using the main function part. We are not using the main function part. So now we have in the command line argument explicitly we have to use this main function part. So the main function part according to this ppt, according to the concept, the main function uh, contains two arguments. Main function contains two arguments. First one is the argc, that is the int type. Next one is the argv, that is the string, that is the character array, character pointer array. So that is the 2 points are there. Argc. The next char of star argv. Argv. Okay, like that only have to declare. It is a command line argument usage. Okay, first you have to give the hash include stdio.h. Okay, so these two parameters are there. Okay, here two parameters. Okay, one is argc, next one argv, character vector. So in the command line argument, we need to maintain these two. Okay, what is the first meaning? What is the first variable meaning? That is the type of integer. That is the type of integer means. Okay, arg. Okay, you can divide this part into two parts. One is arg. So you can find arg. Arg is the common. First name is the argc. Argv. Argc means argument count. Argument count. So here argv equal to argument vector. Argument vector. The argument vector is in the form of string type. Argument vector is the form of string type. Count is in the form of int type. Count in the form of int type. Okay. So um, okay, you have to listen the first program, then you are able to clear the uh, clear and get the simple idea about this command line argument. It is very different program. We are using different environment also. Okay, for the first program all the things are very different concepts. Please listen all the for first program, then the second program and third program you are able to understand very clearly. So first you have to follow my instructions. Okay, first um, okay, printf printf percentage s name of the program, name of the program argv of 0. Next um, first argument first argument first argument second argument second argument. Okay, let us verify the output of the program, then we can discuss. Otherwise it requires so much of understanding, so that's why I am interested to explain there only. So for that purpose, you have to store a particular memory location that must be very well known to you. You have to choose a particular memory location in C drive. In C drive, you have to create one folder, that is the command line argument. Command line argument. In that command line argument, what is my program? Program name is command line argument 1 dot c. Where is that program? Where I stored that program in? Please go to the command prompt. Okay, already I discussed how we can execute that one. Command. What is my location? Command. Okay, dir. So I created CMLA, command line argument. Go to that command line argument. Command line argument. What are the files are there? Only one file, cmla1.c. Okay, before going to executing that program, have to compile in our regular path. argv Okay, okay, okay. So, okay, thank you. Okay, then it is not executed here. Okay, name of the program that is printed. Actually, it is not the execution path. Go to the command line. Okay, it is the command line where we store in CMLA. Okay, again verify what are the whole files are there. So after compilation, exe file is created. Now first give the program name CMLA1 program name and first argument. Next second argument. Okay, first argument. Okay, zeroth argument is our program and first argument, second argument. What will be the output? Name of the program is CMLA. One argument Arun, second argument Kumar. So it is this is the output. Let us verify our program. Okay, here you have to give /n and you have to give /n. Okay, after better understanding of the output, then I will explain the what is the exact command line argument. Okay, here what we are given, program name without any extension. Don't use any .c .exe anything and give one space. Give first argument in string, next second give second argument in string. Okay, name of the program CML a1. Next argument 1 or argument 2 Kumar. Okay, just compare this output with the program. Okay, name of the program is stored in ARGCV of 0. Okay, the ARGCV. Okay, in our practice, the 0 argument is always stores the program name. Program name. Program name. So the AR argument 0 always fixed for program name. We cannot enter any different arguments, any different values. So that must be program name 0 argument. Next, from first argument, we can give any input values. Okay, by default, it takes only strings as an input. Why? Because character string array is a string array, so that's why it will receive more number of strings, so that's why that must be string. Second also must be string, so second also must be string. So um, uh, first argument and second argument. What about the 0 argument? That is the 0th that is the program name. 0 always fixed for the program name. We don't give any strings or any additional information there. The 0th place must be program. Okay, in that way, okay, in this example, they are passing the information to our program in this way. So this type of input is called command line argument. These arguments, Arun and Kumar, two arguments are there. That information is passed to CMLA1. See what is CMLA1? It is a program. So through the command line argument, we are passing arguments to a particular program. So that is the command line argument. Let us think deep about the command line argument. Okay. Okay. Now the command line argument 0 always fixed for program name. Okay. Remaining is the argument. Next, you have to print the command line argument count. Printf count of the arguments. Count of the arguments means how many arguments we pass. How many arguments we pass. That's that given by argument counter. So that gives how many arguments given in the previous example along with 0, 0 argument, 1 argument, 2 argument. So totally how many arguments are there? 3 arguments. That is our output for the previous output. Okay, you have to compile here and execute there, not here. Same command line CMLA 1 space Arun space Kumar. So how many arguments along with the program name? 3 arguments. Count of the argument is 3. So in that way you can utilize these three, sorry, two uh, two variables in the main function, argument vector count, argument argument count and argument vector. Okay, let us let us use this argument counter argument vector in different way. Okay, here that is the meaning. Argument 0 is always program name. Argument count will use the total number of arguments are given in the command line argument. Okay, according to that only we will finish. We can use the program information. Okay, let us wait. Okay, one more idea is there. Okay, we can change the name of this argument count and argument vectors. So now let us change the these variables. Okay, capital key, capital C is the key. Capital C, instead of ARGC, we will give different names. So that is argument vector, count, argument vector. That words are not fixed, but we can change our user defined type also. Now, okay, here st of 0, but the 0th argument must be program name. Next, argument vector means here st. Next, 2, it will give, okay, second argument. Next, here what is argument? Argument count, that is measured by C. That is program 2 dot C. Let us compile and execute. So there is no error. Okay, don't execute here. Go there and verify the dir. How many programs are there? CMLA1 completed. CMLA2. Let us CMLA2. Don't give any space. Don't give any extension. Okay. You have to give some different information. X, Y, Z. Okay. How many arguments are there? 3 arguments. What is the first argument? 0th argument? Program name. First argument ABC. XYZ is the second argument. Okay. First argument. Okay. The program. The name of the program. First argument, second argument, and a total number of arguments. Now, in that way, we can change the variable names of the argument vector also. So in that way, we can uh, utilize in best way. Okay, next we can see uh, two parts. Then we can finish the command line arguments also. Okay. Further, there is no need of print the program name. So that's why if command argument vector count greater than 1 means argument that must be if it is equal to 1, that is the 0th argument, that is the program name, then only we will print all these things. Then only we can print all these things. No need of this method. else printf try properly means, so if you pass only program name without any argument, what is the meaning? No meaning. So that's why that type of output will be given. Capitals. Okay. 3. Okay, CMLA 3 space program name. Okay, without any argument. Try properly. Why? Because only one argument is given. Otherwise, okay. So in that way, we can handle this command line on. Next, if the command line if the arguments are more than 3, 0 is program name. Here we are limited these arguments, argument 1 and argument 2. More arguments are there, what we can do? Then we can use the for loop statement. For loop statement. Okay. For I equal to 1, I less than capital C, I plus plus. So what is I have to declare? Int. Okay, how many times that must be printed? Argument percentage D of the string I and str. Here we can use that vector as a array variable. Okay, so now we can pass more number of arguments and it will be. Okay, it is the last 2 minutes. Let us verify. More number of arguments we can pass. Argument 1, argument 2, argument 3, argument 4. So here information is the any type, but that will be treated as string type only. Okay. Finally, we can verify very most important, that is if you want to perform any arithmetic operations, how it is performed. Okay, all the arguments vectors it will takes only string type, but it is not support any other type. Integer is not supported by integer is not supported. So that's why we will take some supports, some it will take some support. So that's why we are using some basic information. Okay. then we can, okay, okay, that is the last program for you. Okay, here we have to use one more extra function int a p. Okay, now you can perform c equal to a plus b. Actually, a from argument, b from argument, and each and every argument is okay. Now our session is going to close. Just participate within 5 minutes. We can finish our session. Okay, it is the last part. Please, all of you participate again. Okay, it is the last part in our discussion, and a command line also completed here. So that's why please wait 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so in this case only we can perform c equal to a plus b or any mathematical arithmetic operations. So without the statements, without the statements, we cannot perform arithmetic operations. Why? Because entire this thing, it is a each and every argument is a character string. So how we can perform arithmetic operations or any calculations in characters? It is not possible. We can perform string operations, but it will not support for the character arithmetic operations. So that's why for performing arithmetic operation by using command line also we can follow this simple method. Okay. Now c equal to a plus b. But what is the value of a? Here a equal to already a equal to sorry a equal to argument argument vector of 1. Already argument vector of 0 is dedicated for program name. Next b equal to argument vector of 2. But here argument vector of 1 is string or integer string. Argument vector of 2 is string or integer string. But AB is related to integers. How it is possible? That is not assigned properly. Let us verify this compilation. Compilation will give the error. Yes, you can find here integer. Okay, what is the error? Assign the assignment makes integer from pointer. So without a casting. So it is a some conversion is required. So that's why one of the function is there. A to I is a function. A to I function. I will explain the function. So here A is a argument string to I means integer. Argument to integer, that is a conversion. Next here also argument to integer function we are using. Okay, the argument vector of 2 is copied into argument vector of 2 is converting into integer, then that is assigned to b, then c equal to a plus b, then we can print the c value directly. You can print the c value directly. Printf result of addition percentage d. Previously we printed only uh, string constants. Now we can print the character constant, integer constants also. Okay. Next, total number. It is not required. It is a fifth. Okay. Then we can finish our program. Then we can execute this one. 1 plus 2. Answer. Sorry. Sorry. CML A5. CD. No, sorry. CML A5. So the result of the addition is 3. Okay. Output is finish. Okay. I will explain why we are using this one. Okay. First argument A value, A value, B value. The value A value is 1, B value is 2, then result of addition is 3. So in that way, we are passing command line arguments. Now arguments are program name and two integers. Actually, 1 and 2 initially that is a string type. 1 is a string, 2 is a string that is converts into integer by using a to I function. Next 2 is also string that is converting into string by using a to I that is assigned to B. Then a and B are two integer values. So now C equal to A plus B. The arithmetic calculation is completed. Then addition will be printed. Okay, instead of that one, we can perform any arithmetic operations here, not only addition. Okay, you can give any type of arithmetic operations. Okay, command line argument is a program name, 2 is a string that is converting into integer, 3 is a string that is converting into integer, 2 into 3, 6 is the output. Okay, now the session is closed. Okay, 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 now